Donald Trump's diplomatic theatrics have once again taken centre stage, and in an abrupt recalibration of his own ultimatum, the US President has shortened his July ceasefire to just 10 to 12 days from today. Speaking from his Turnberry resort in Scotland, following a meeting with the UK Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer, Trump expressed frustration at Russia's escalating attacks and declared he was no longer interested in talks. His patience, such as it was, has run dry. The stage is set for a dramatic confrontation, one with more symbolic than strategic substance. 2 weeks ago, Trump warned Putin that unless he ended the war in Ukraine within 50 days by early September, the United States would impose secondary sanctions and a 100% tariff on any country trading with Russia. It was a stark transactional threat, tailored in Trumpian fashion to disrupt economic networks rather than foster diplomatic nuance. Now, after fresh Russian missile strikes on Kyiv and other Ukrainian cities, Trump has slashed the window to a mere 10 to 12 days, stating bluntly, "There's no reason waiting. I already know the answer." It's a spectacular shift in tone, but not necessarily in effectiveness. The heart of Trump's plan is economic warfare. Primary sanctions remain in place, but the secondary sanctions would target countries doing business with Russia, effectively penalizing India, China, and others importing Russian oil or commodities. The 100% tariff would make such trade prohibitively expensive, potentially isolating Russia and its trading partners from the US economy. Trump claims this would dry up Russia's war chest and halt the invasion. Economically, the logic is plausible. Politically, it's far from fraught. It's far more fraught, sorry. The Kremlin has responded with measured disdain. Dmitry Peskov, Putin's spokesman, called the original threat serious, but now dismisses the revised ultimatum as something that is not something that works anymore. The MP Andrei Gurylyov derided Trump's ultimatum as toothless, boasting that Russia has weapons, principles, and will. The former deputy prime minister, Dmitry Medvedev, was even more blunt, branding it as an ultimatum game that only increases the risk of war. Putin himself has said nothing. Sincere silence in this context, speaks of contempt or confidence or both, or just maybe imprisonment in the Smeg fridge. Andrei Yermak, Zelensky's chief of staff, welcomed Trump's new deadline, praising the clear message of peace through strength and echoing the belief that Putin respects only power. But the reality on the ground is more sobering. Russia has intensified its summer offensive in eastern Ukraine, particularly around Donetsk and Kharkiv, and the ceasefire talks in Istanbul lasted barely an hour. Ukrainian officials proposed a Zelensky-Putin summit, but the Kremlin has shown no interest, and as things stand, Ukraine is caught between symbolic deadlines and brutal realities. The credibility of Trump's ultimatum is undermined by his own inconsistency. He promised during the 2022 campaign to end the war in 24 hours. He's given Putin 50 days, now it's down to 10 to 12, and yet, even with escalating rhetoric, Trump's administration has paused some arms deliveries to Ukraine while allowing Europe to take the lead on providing new weaponry. Aurélien Colson, a director of ESSEX, has scathingly said Trump gave Putin a green light to continue waging war for 50 days and has done nothing in response every time. This ultimatum is not diplomacy. It's performance politics laced with economic threats and delivered on a golfing estate. It carries weight with Trump's base, particularly with American voters who want to see strength but no further war. But to Moscow, this is not Roosevelt, Reagan, or Roosevelt Redux. This is reality TV power play, and Putin, for all his madness, is not swayed by prime-time declarations from Scotland. Trump's 10 or 12 days ultimatum will come and go. There may be sanctions, tariffs, or more drama, but the war will not end unless Ukraine and Russia agree to terms, and right now their preconditions are entirely incompatible. Trump's threat is important for its symbolism, but not for its strategy. It shows a shift in tone, a growing irritation with Putin, and perhaps an electoral concern to appear strong. But threats that aren't enforced are not leverage, they're invitations to call Trump's bluff. And Trump may posture as a peacemaker with a stopwatch, but in this war of attrition, neither Moscow nor Kyiv is dancing to his tune, not in 50 days, not in 10, not in 12.